Hi, everybody, and welcome to our Geek Talk. We're here today for the graduation of our first cohort for Europe Online. So we have two teams today presenting their final project presentations. My name is Alyssa. I'm the campus manager for Four Geeks. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about who Four Geeks is and what we do, and then we'll get to see their final projects. So Four Geeks is an international coding bootcamp. We have campuses in North, South, and Central America, as well as in Europe. In the past 7 years, because we opened in 2015, we've graduated now above 2,500 students. 85% of those graduates are finding their jobs within the first 90 days of graduation. We have many partnerships already established with major industry players, and we have been rated by multiple platforms as one of the top coding bootcamps in the world. Some of those validations include Premios Excelencia Educativa that named us the best coding bootcamp in 2021. SwitchUp named us among the top 30 worldwide bootcamps, and we average 4.9 stars in reviews across all platforms. So what is our mission? Our mission is to reduce the unemployment rate, provide accessibility, and increase the amount of digital talent available. So we make software engineers and also AI ML engineers. As I mentioned before, we have 2,500 plus graduates, and our plan is to achieve these results through our two student platforms called GeekPal and GeekForce, which I'm going to explain to you guys on the following slides. 22% is the average salary increase. Oh, thank you, Victor, for my Spanish compliment. Is the average salary increase after completing the program. And as I mentioned before, 86% of our graduates are finding that job within 90 days after graduation. So they're really able to increase their salary and their quality of life after completing this program. GeekPal is our mentorship program, but it's much more than that. So GeekPal gives our students and our graduates unlimited access to the Four Geeks community for the rest of their life. So it's really about creating a community of software developers, offering them lifetime mentorship, offering them accessibility to our Slack channel, to the events we host, and just supporting them through their coding journey and their career as a developer. So we have different ways that we offer mentor support, of course, via Slack. We have a community of all 2,500 people, developers helping developers. We have one-on-one mentor sessions that we schedule, and we also have global or group mentoring sessions that we have available. So through GeekPal, our students and our graduates stay with the Four Geeks community for the rest of their lives. And our other main platform is called GeekForce, which is our career support and to help you land your first job in tech. So GeekForce is also unlimited and is for life. It's a system that we've built via one-on-one meetings, workshops to help you with your professional portfolio, your interview preparation, your resume writing, your LinkedIn, your GitHub, whatever you need to be ready to apply for jobs. And then we also follow you through the application process, through the interview process, and through the follow-up process. So we like to joke and say that when you sign up for this bootcamp, you're really signing up for two bootcamps. The first bootcamp is 16 weeks, and you learn how to become a developer, how to code. And then the second bootcamp is getting you a job, and that takes an average of 90 days. So these graduates here in this meeting are about to start their GeekForce process. So the next 90 days is going to be intensive. Finding a full-time job is a full-time job, but we're going to be doing our part. And as long as they're doing their part, we hope that we can get you your first job in tech within that 90-day period. Here's just a look at some companies that have hired our students in the past. So you can see some of the bigger companies at the top: Ultimate Software, Twilio, National Geographic, Microsoft, Facebook, Uber, and eBay. And then as you go down, you can see some medium-sized and smaller companies as well. But we have graduates working in all of these companies that you see here. These are some of our partners that we work with. Some of them are financing partners. Some of them are educational partners. We have many more partners than this, but here is just a brief glance at some of the organizations that Four Geeks works with. Then we have our guest speaker for today, which is Edgar Gago. He is the CTO and co-founder at NewWay. So he will tell you about his company and tell you a little bit about advice for bootcamp grads. We'll turn over to him soon. And then after he speaks, we have tonight's roster. So we have 2 projects presenting tonight. Our first project is Nannies by Alex, Maze, David, and Victor. And then we have NoZigs by Chris, Bruno, and Gon. Thank you for listening to my brief presentation about Four Geeks, and I am going to turn it over to Edgar now, who will have the floor. So give me just one moment.
Okay, so I guess I'm live now. I'm seeing here that I'm live, so I will share my screen so it's the presentation goes smoother. Okay, let me compartir. Okay, I will assume I'm sharing my screen right now. Okay, so first of all, thank you, Four Geeks, for inviting me to this presentation. I will start presenting myself a little bit so you can have. Okay, thanks. Okay, I will present myself so you know me a little bit better and know what I do right now for living, and after that I will just try to explain some things that I would have wanted to know once I started like looking for a job, or once I started within the professional software development ecosystem. So, as you see here, one of the things that defines me is that I'm very practical and very pragmatic. So if I can just save a little bit of time, I do it. So the presentation that I have prepared is just a blog post which I have developed with Marathon. So this is just a curiosity about me. I'm from 97. I've worked in a lot of places, but I started coding, like typing a little bit of code around 2015 when I started my university program. But until 2018, I haven't like really worked within the software ecosystem professionally. Here around this age, I started doing some C and C# programs for a consultancy called Accenture, and it was nice. And that was the moment that I decided that I wanted to become a professional software engineer. Just by the way, I'm not a software engineer. I don't have a software a degree in software engineer. I'm an aerospace engineer, but I quickly changed to this field. And basically, since that year, I've been coding and working as a software consultant, freelance software developer, and approximately around 2020, I started thinking about that I wanted to create my own company. And from there, I've been working with front-end, back-end, and DevOps technologies, mainly focused on TypeScript and JavaScript. And that's me. I have around 5 years of professional experience, and now I will let you know some things that I've learned during this process of creating a company and becoming a professional software developer. If you have some doubts, you can stop me or ask through the chat at whatever time. Don't worry, I don't have to finish. Okay, so as I think Elisa was the name, because I was a little bit late, was saying landing a full-time job is a full-time job, and it's kind of hard when you are a junior software developer, or not even a junior software developer. So I will try to like highlight some things that I would have wanted to know. The first thing is that this is like a lifestyle for me, which is to be pragmatic. This what it means basically is that you need to be practical. Don't worry a lot about whether this is wrong or this is bad. Just do it, and after that, you will see the result, and you can improve it, etc. And this, I think that it is really important that you have it in mind when you are building your portfolio. Usually, I see portfolios that are like extremely good. They have a lot of serious animations. They have 3D inside the portfolio. Uh, from my side, I would say don't worry about that and find a portfolio that serves the purpose, which is landing you a job. And I think and that what you should care about is what is inside your portfolio, not the portfolio itself. The portfolio should show that you know how to do stuff and that you know how to do a lot of stuff, and not that you can add CSS animations. If what you want to do is work for a company which do some nice CSS animations, and the most important thing for them are animations and that kind of stuff, okay, do it. Otherwise, just worry about the stuff that is inside your portfolio and not what people sees. And what I would recommend for you is to just use some kind of starters, templates, etc. There are a lot of good pages there where you can just pick a template and make it your own in order to serve the purpose that you are looking for, which is to land a job and attract companies and people. Here you have some links, and I will share this link to you once I finish it and I deploy it. Okay. Next thing. Also, from what I've seen, you should all know how to start a server or how to create or define the basic skeleton for a web page. So this is really related with the previous point, which is use templates, use skeletons, and make use of what people have already done. Don't do basic development every time you need to start another one, and anytime you want to learn a new thing, because otherwise you will end up doing the same thing over and over again, and you are not going to learn new stuff. This is something that I think that has been really useful for me to, or either create your own templates that will serve the purpose that you are looking for, that just some basic server or some basic front-end environment with the testing prepared, etc., and focus on the stuff that you want to learn. Next thing, testing. I think that this is one of the most important things, and you need to learn how to test. Testing is not hard. Usually, when junior people listen the first time that you need to test your code, you need to do unit testing, integration testing, end-to-end, a lot of stuff, you get scared. Don't worry too much about testing, and because testing is not hard. What is hard is to develop the code behind that test. So the hard part about not unit tests, but everything, is the environment that you need to prepare in order to define, in order to start creating those tests. But again, don't try to make it your own if you are not in that stage yet. As a software engineer, if you are not like a really senior level, you are not going to ask to create the whole testing infrastructure. You're going to be asked to develop tests. So the code that you develop is has some kind of requirements. So just download, clone some testing framework that has someone already developed for you, and start doing tests, not the implementation of the testing framework itself, because this could be really hard. Depends on the testing that you are trying to do. I would say start with unit testing. You can unit test with one file configuration and the node on the other side. So start doing unit tests because it will be really easy for you. Integration testing, I guess, would be the next big thing for you. If you're doing backend, I would say even start with this one because you're going to do unit testing anyway. And end-to-end testing could be really hard, so don't worry if you don't get to this point, but try to cover unit testing and integration testing because this shouldn't be really hard. Okay, I have forgot something. The GIFs here usually means what happens if you don't do what the title says. Okay, just try to think. Don't overlook things. And this is usually what happens when you don't test stuff. When we started Nui for the first time, everything was a mess, and practically each day we find something that was broken inside the web page. At the moment, we still find broken things from that code. So try to do some testing because otherwise, your company or your website will be like that dog. Okay. If I'm going too fast, just let me know, or if you have some doubts. Okay. Okay. Next point: architecture. When you talk about architecture, usually you imagine someone with 25 years of experience, or a guy that has been on the company for like forever. But actually, software architecture is something that all of you should know. And this is really important because it's related with testing and with the code, with the quality code of what that you deliver. In order to properly develop code, you need to understand how the code should be structured, and software architecture is the thing that you need to learn in order to develop good code. And again, this is not a hard topic. This is just something that you need to read books, listen to podcasts, wherever. I will try to make a bullet points with different kind of web pages and YouTube channels that you can take a look at. So in order to learn more about software architecture. If you haven't listened this word again, software architecture, what tries to do is try to make your code as organized as possible and link the business the business behind the code with the code itself, and try to define some rules that general software developers need to follow in order to develop code that has some kind of quality. Usual software architecture pattern is MVC. I will write it here, which is model view controller. I guess you've heard about that pattern. This is a kind of architecture which usually when you have some small API or some small front end, you usually follow this kind of architecture, which is simple and easy to design and to code. But once you start doing big things, big projects, and you start including a lot of people on your project and your code, this can get really messy if you have all your code with an MVC pattern. Another one which is really popular is hexagonal. And I would definitely recommend to read more about this kind of software architecture, because I would say that almost all the big companies are using this kind of architecture. And what defines the difference between mainly the architectures is the way that you structure and the way that you define where to put your code. The different kind of architectures, what mean basically is set some ground rules in order to define where this controller should go, how this controller should be named, the link between those things, how those things are linked, etc. This is an extensive field, and I would recommend to read more about it and try to understand some of the concepts behind it. Another topic which is closely related with architecture are design patterns and good practices. When you see A equals B plus N, you don't really know what that means. This in JavaScript, for example, could be strings or numbers. So out of context, it's really hard to understand if someone's read this line of code. So in order to help you with that, you need to know about good practices. For example, convenient naming rules that, for example, JavaScript, Python, or whatever code language you're using have, and the design patterns that each framework has. So if you are learning React and Python, for example, learn design patterns that usually React projects use. Again, this is not really hard. You just need to read a little bit about it and, of course, practice it. So it doesn't matter if you read, okay, this is I'm using, I know what the container design pattern is, but if you don't use it, you won't really understand what you what this pattern does. Sorry. And this is usually what happens when each developer of the team does whatever they want. Okay, if you don't follow some ground rules, some base rules, your code will be a mess again, and it will be really hard to maintain. And finally, which is like the basic starting point that where you will be able to apply all those rules, is to solve hard problems and not the standard ones. And what I mean with solve hard problems is not that you need to create the next Google, but you shouldn't like be really following YouTube videos anymore. You've done your basic learning path. You know how to write some basic code. Now you need to practice a lot. And in order to practice a lot, what you have to do is just think about an idea you have and start building it from the ground up. And once you get stuck at some point, then go to some YouTube channels, read Medium articles, wherever you need in order to understand your problem, to solve your problem. And for me, this is what have had like gave me the ability to solve most things. And I believe that this is what you should do. And once you start doing that, you're going to need more and more and more, and you're going to learn a lot, because once you start developing, your code base is going to grow. And once your code base starts to grow, you're going to wonder, okay, how the hell I do that easily? And you're going to need to research for design patterns and good practices. Once this is not enough and you're following some good practice, you have the naming perfect, but the code starts growing and you invite some friend and your friend starts to look for within the folder repository, and he or she doesn't understand anything, you're going to tell yourself, okay, how the hell do I do that in order for other people to understand what am I doing? So here is where architecture or software architecture comes. You're going to have to do some research about that, and you're going to say, okay, this is really good. And finally, once you deploy your stuff, you have some really nice project, you have some really nice architecture, naming is perfect, you deploy your site, and it's not working. Everything is 404, and you don't understand what is happening, and you start clicking everywhere, and this is where testing comes. And if you mix testing, architecture, and design patterns with a good problem, is what it's going to help you get to the next. For me, what has worked to get me to the next level of software engineering. And basically, this is all. I don't know if you have any questions, but what I will try to do during this class is try to give you my opinion on your projects. And like in a week or so, I will send this link so you have all this information and resources so you can use it for whatever you want. And that's it. I don't know. You want to share something? Ask something? This is the time. Okay. Okay. I don't hear you right now. I don't know if it's my problem. Or... How about you? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What we do. Okay. This is in.
Sorry, I was muted. If anybody has questions, you can raise your hand if you're here in StreamYard and I can add you, or if you're on YouTube, just type them here in the chat and we can ask them for you. Sorry.
So someone had asked about the company, and well, this is Nube, and basically what we do is we develop hackathons and custom challenges for big corporates in order to allow them to retain and hire people in a funny and enjoyable way for both parts, the developers and the company itself. And the good thing about that is that with just like 1 or 2 days, we fulfill like the whole process. Just one hackathon. The whole team goes to the hackathon, the internal team of the company. Also, all the participants go to the hackathon. And in the end, what they get is a prize. Also, they get feedback and a report, of course, of how they have done during the hackathon and how they could increase the score or how they could do it better. And let me show you. Yeah, this is not working right now. Nice. Well, this is something like that you get at the end of the hackathon, and you see like the points that you've got if you've done testing, the quality testing that you've done, whether you've done documentation or not, etc. And basically, this is what we do. You're welcome.
So, any other questions? Okay, well, thank you, Edgar, for coming and speaking about your company and about advices for them. I'm sure that they really found it valuable. Maybe if you want to put like your information here in the chat, so if they want to stay in contact with you, if you have like LinkedIn or a company website or whatever you want to put so that people have your information. And then, awesome. Thanks so much. We'll move into our presentations then. So first up, we have nannies. So I'm going to do some changes here and put that team on the screen. Thanks again. So we have Alex and David. And then you guys can go ahead and share your screen.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. So thank you, Alisa, and thank you, Edgar, for the
Hello,
nice
everybody.
presentation. So Alex is here, and Alex will present the app that we created, and I will do a quick presentation about us and about the technology that we use for this application. I will share my screen. And let me know if you can see the PPT. I think that you can see. So as the name of our application or you can identify, is related with an application where you can find a nanny, a babysitter, wherever you are. So if you are in Portugal, if you are in Spain, or you are traveling to another country and you need any kind of service, you can try to find here in the application. So as our slogan is saying, things are better with a nanny, and our colleagues is we have worked a lot. So sorry because of I didn't find any picture for my colleague Mais, and but so let me present the team. So Alex is myself, Mais, and Victor. We are the team. Alex has a lot of experience with Microsoft services. Right now, he has a new position as IT engineer, gaming solution. He loves football, technology, and of course, he loves Barcelona. And this is a pity, but it's okay. I can live with that, Alex. He has a lot of experience. He's very good in the front-end part, and during the bootcamp, he could improve and learn a lot with the backend side. So I currently working as integration system support. I have some colleagues building the integrations between systems, and I am providing some kind of support. After this bootcamp, I hope that I can start building and developing also some stuff. I love traveling, and I am passionate for home automation. Mais, that she's not here, unfortunately, but she, as me, she didn't have any kind of background in IT, but she learned a lot, and she's very good in front end and styles and CSS, and she loves R&B and video games. And Victor is our colleague from Brazil, and he's very, very, very talented. He's very good in the backend. He's a Python developer, and his hobbies is technology and teaching. He's very good, and all of the team could enjoy and learn a lot with him during the bootcamp. So the background is, as you know, we are in a global world, and today I'm here in Portugal, but tomorrow, I don't know, I can be in another country. And and also developers know that we have to work a lot, and sometimes we need a little help from someone. And here is where nannies or babysitting sitters are here to help. And this is the purpose of the aim of the application. Our service will allow you to have more time for some important stuff. Of course, your family is the most important part, but sometimes we cannot find this time, right? So the functionalities in our application, and the idea is to add more and more functionalities, is that you are going to, and Alex will present, you are going to create a profile, and you can find and a babysitter, depending on the preferences that you will add in the application, and you can filter by the different requirements or the different filters that you will have in the application. You can find by experience, by rate, or price per hour, and you will see it better with Alex. You will, after that, you will see the nanny profiles in order to analyze if which profile is the one that is fitting more with your needs. And after that, you will schedule a meeting or a quick interview with the babysitter, and she or he can meet your family, and you can see if your kids are have a good relationship with, or a good link with the babysitter. The technologies that we use and we have learned so far in the bootcamp is in the backend: Python, Flask, SQL Alchemy. We have used in our application the Google API, because you will see that we can see the nannies in the map, and in the front end we have used React.js, HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. And that's all. Let's present the application. I hope that you enjoy with the application, and thank you. So the floor is yours, Alex.
Thanks, David. What a great presentation. My name is Alejandro. I'm going to explain about the project in the technology park. Let's move on to the presentation, to the web application. We've been running this for the last 2 months. So it was a hard work, but I hope you like it. Do you see the screen now?
Yes, at least I can see.
Okay, so this is the front end. We've been using technologies like David said in the PowerPoint. We have been using React for the React and JavaScript for the code, developer in the front end. We all of the team have been doing this together. We can say we split all the tasks together. So we touch a little bit of front and a little bit of backend all together as a team, just using our knowledge and what we have learned in the bootcamp, thanks to Four Geeks. Well, I'm going to show you now. This is the front, the landing page, the home. We have here few designs using CSS, SCSS, and we have used the HTML5, of course, but the components are built in React. This is the landing page. Here we include testimonials, a few prices for subscriptions for the parents, and here is how you sign up. In the menu on the top right, here you can book quickly the nanny, doing the sign up here, or you can do here in the top right. In the bottom, the footer, here we have some social networks and FAQ with more design, with the common questions from the parents, and the contact us using forms that will be sent using the SNTP relay. Okay, let's do how the parents are registered. As David said, first the parents needs to register in the sign up. It will be totally free for the first sign up, and the parents can choose later in the profile area about things like how many children, or where they live, or what they're looking for. But in the main sign up, it's just the name and the email and a simple password, and then sign up. Thank you to sign up into Nanny's Hub, and then we go and see the login. And this is the private area where you log in. And you can see straight away the list of nannies available and the few information about them, like skills, years of experience, price. We have been using this as an API. We call the API coming to the main page, to the nannies list, using all the technology from API. And the map, we have been using Google API, and for the geolocation as well, using Google and geolocation to mark, highlight where the nannies are with the map. So you can zoom in or zoom out. Right now we have only a few in all around the world, also in North America and even maybe Australia. So it will be highlighted in the map. It's only a demonstration, but it will working like this. The API filter for us when you're trying to look up, for example, let's see New York, and automatically you find below the babysitters available in New York. Or you can find for Paris, and here the results, the query. For the filters, we have been using SQL Alchemy filters. And here also you can see the placeholders and do the filter by hour, maximum price, for example, 50 euros, and the results here. Also, you can do the filter by experience in years. Like, for example, minimum experience, you can combine the price and the years of experience, for example, minimum one. So it will be the results here. Okay. So then if you choose one of them, you like, for example, Mark, we open Mark and will be the whole profile. This is the component. And here we're using the layout to make the book, the appointment, or trying to send a message. No? Here we can choose the date, so the proposal dates, like for example, we need Friday to come to our house in Malaga, 2 children, and additional comments like take to bed early. And then we send the message to the nanny we like. They will be receiving in the email. Okay, and then back to home. Pretty much simple functionality, straight to the point. To what the parent needs is going to be something like they need to find quickly, find what they like or what they need, the requirements, and then all working simple and smoothly. And then they got log out button on the top. Thank you for the presentation. Yeah, I hope you like and you can use the services. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Great. I don't know if there is any question.
Yes, some question from the audience.
Great job, guys. Yes, we can open up to questions from the audience if you guys want to write in the chat. You got a Let's Go Nannies and a great presentation.
We have a great colleagues.
Okay, well, if there's no questions, then we can move to the second one. But good job, guys. We can also open up the floor for questions at the end. So if anybody thinks of anything. Oh, here's a question.
Thank you, Four Geeks.
There is a question now.
There's one, yeah. How have you managed your time between and the tasks?
Yeah, that was complicated at the beginning. But basically, what was the tool we were using, David?
The Trello.
Trello, yeah.
The name. Yeah.
Trello for the backlogs, and we organize it that way, giving tasks to anybody, and then that's in progress and choosing that. Also, we use GitHub a lot, doing several branches and making commits and pull and push requests. from the team, and also of course meetings, weekly meetings, let's say that, and also in the Slack or chat, and
Yeah.
we keep the teamwork. That's
Of
what's
course,
very
yeah.
important.
Of course, we use the tools that the Four Geeks Academy provide. And Marta, our teacher, Trello, it was a good one, and also Slack. We spoke about a lot in Slack.
And for the UX, we use the Whimsical,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
very nice tool and free tool. Thank you.
But
Got a
in
nice,
fact,
yeah.
in fact, Edgar, this is like a marriage. we had some discussions, some good days, bad days, but
Totally.
it was great experience.
We enjoy a lot.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, guys, and great presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna switch over to NoZigs. So we're gonna remove you guys, and we are gonna put Bruno. Okay, so no zigs, don't zig or zag.
Wait.
You guys are on now, so you can go.
Okay, I'm just trying to share.
All right. Okay, we're up. So thank you very much for being here, everyone. We are NoZigs. So it's basically Bruno, Gonzalo, and me. We all studied at Four Geeks Academy for the full stack development program. And so Bruno is in Portugal at the moment. He doesn't really like to talk about himself. This is why I'm the one talking. So his background is on building websites. He's been doing this for the past, I think, 8 years or something like this. And for Gonzalo, he's in Spain at the moment. His background is in business, and he's coding as a hobby. And myself, I'm in the Netherlands at the moment. My background is in finance. I'm coding for fun at the moment. That's why I joined the bootcamp. So for NoZigs, we're trying to solve a problem. Mainly on planning for city trips. And we're trying to solve this problem where it's very time consuming to look up every single location and to plan for the order of visits. So if we have, let's say, 3 or 4 locations, that would be fine. But the time that is consumed would go exponentially. So we're trying to solve this problem and to save a few hours in terms of planning. And so this is why we name ourselves NoZig, because we don't go zig and zag when we go travel if we have time to plan. And how we are solving this problem, Gonzalo will help us with this.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Krystel. So, yeah, exactly. That's what we want to avoid. We want to avoid zigzagging. We want to automate planning trips and planning, I would say, a trip within a city, visiting different places, losing the, making the time, using time efficiently, and just inputting different locations. We will be able to organize them and get the locations organized by the best route. I'm hearing a lot of noise now. Okay, now it's better. So it's gonna take you, instead of looking for places, it's gonna take you 3 seconds if you do it with the algorithm that we develop, and it's gonna auto suggest the best location. Now we can have a look at the real application. Okay, so this is our landing page. As the message says, we want to discover cities better with the shortest route. 3 simple steps that my colleague Bruno is going to explain you. Maybe you can show a bit and. Yeah, basically for travelers on budget that they want to save time between cities. And now Bruno is going to explain you the functionality.
Okay, so as my colleagues were saying, this was a problem that I faced since I will always like to micromanage my time when I'm traveling. So it was what gave me the idea to this app. So we can sign up and create our account, our profile. In this case, I already have an account, so I'm just going to log in to my profile. You can see here. And here I am on my profile. So the objective is that we can create a trip and get the best route to our trip. So I'm going to create the trip now. I will add the name of my trip. Paris. I can have the date that I'm going to travel to Paris. So it will be 31 May. I'm going to choose the country. Yes. I'm going to choose the city. And first I should start by adding the base address where I'm starting the visit. In this case, an hotel, an hostel, or something, or else. In this case, I'm going to use this street address. I'm going to add it. As you can see, we already have the address here, and we have the map with the base location. So now I'm going to start adding the locations that I want to visit on this trip. So I'm going to go to the Eiffel Tower. Then I'm going to maybe visit Sacré-Cœur, Notre Dame, and maybe also Arc de Triomphe. As you can see, we have the list with all the locations here. We also have the map with the locations assigned with the numbers that I inserted on the page. And I'm going to have to try to find the best route for this trip. This will always be a round trip. So from my home back to my home. It's not. Just give me a second. So as you can see here, we have the best route possible on a round trip here. After this, I can save this trip to my profile so I can access it in the future. I can use 12 locations for each trip for now, and I can store the number of trips that I want to access in the future. So how are we getting this result? So I'm going to explain. We are creating a string with locations, with the country, the city, and the location that we own. We are creating the string. We are sending it to the geocoding API. So then we receive an object with all the info from those locations. I create an array with all the coordinates from the locations that I'm on. I send it back to an API that it's now de-optimized, and then I will match the info from the objects with the array of coordinates to get the data to the user.
Gone, we cannot hear you.
Sorry, I was muted. So what we used to build up all these web app, we used for the front end JavaScript and React JavaScript. And for the backend, we used SQL, SQL Alchemy, Flask, REST APIs, and also calls to those APIs that Bruno says on the Mapbox. And Python as well.
Yes, so we have a roadmap for NoZigs because there's Bruno, who's absolutely excited about solving problems, and also the two of us, me and Gonzalo, we are coding for fun. So we decided to work on this even after the bootcamp, and to add a lot more features to this to make this into something that is actually useful for travelers in general. So we're planning to add autocomplete search, integrating Wiki API, which is mainly to include images of the locations that you're searching, and travel suggestions and social media features, etc. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope everyone gets to use NoZigs.
Good job, guys. Does anybody have any questions? Any from YouTube or any of the students or our speaker today have any questions? You can write them here in the chat.
How do we manage our state?
What do you mean by state?
It's React state. Bruno, you want to go for this one?
I can go for this one, but I'm not really used to those terms, so I'm trying to figure out what is being meant by React state. So if you could just ask me in another way.
Yes, I'm also not familiar with what it means, React states.
I'm sure we are all familiar. So we're using Flux, and we're also using React state to store data.
There's another question here. If you guys have socials in case they want to stay in touch, if you want to post in the main chat that goes to YouTube too, if you want to post like your LinkedIn or if you have any kind of professional social media for people to follow your app.
All right.
And then of course someone said, amazing app. I'm sure you can sell it. Nice design and the functionalities are great, which is true. You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
Turn my LinkedIn here.
Awesome. So yeah, they're oh, don't post it here in the private chat, post it in the one that says comments so that the viewers on YouTube can see it too, please.
All right.
But yes, great job, guys. Before I close out, I did want to hand the floor over to your teacher for a moment as well, so she can talk a few words about your guys' experience and congratulate you. So I'm going to put Martha on here.
Hi, so I'm Marta. I've been the teacher of this batch, and I just want to say that I'm really proud of you because we all been seeing this here today, and it might seem like, oh wow, that's so cool, that's so easy. But actually, when we started the course, most of the people had no idea what React or Python was, had never seen an SQL query, and they've been learning this for like about 4 months, more or less. So it's been a lot of knowledge, a lot of things to learn in a really short time, in a pretty tight schedule. And I'm really proud of you because when we started, you didn't think that you could do this, but now you've done 2 amazing projects. And it's honestly been an honor to see you growth and and get to this point during these months. So congratulations.
Awesome. So now, I mean, that concludes our presentation. So I'm going to put everybody on the screen here. I'm going to talk a little bit about the next steps, and I'm also going to give everybody a chance if there's any closing words that you want to say or anything you want to mention. But I guess it's pretty obvious that congratulations, you guys finally finished your boot camp. You guys have been working hard, 16 weeks. So we know it wasn't easy. We know that there was times that it was challenging, but you guys pushed through. You made it to the end. Now you've presented. Now you're done with your first boot camp. So now starts your second boot camp, so to say, which is your career support. So you guys should be aware that our Geek Force representatives are going to be reaching out to you guys. We're going to be scheduling career support sessions with you, and we're going to be putting in our part. So we need you guys to put in your part as well. As I said before, and as Edgar confirmed for you guys, looking for a job is a full-time job. So we'll be putting in a good amount of work for the next 90 days. And we hope that you guys are going to land really good jobs within the next 3 months. But for now, I mean, you guys graduated. You guys should celebrate, have a drink, go out with your family. This is a pretty big accomplishment. So I hope you guys feel really good and feel really proud of what you've done. And is there anything that you guys want to add, or any thank yous you want to give, or anything you want to say before we close out the event? You can just unmute yourselves and start talking. You're all able to share now.
I would like to thank Marta and also to the Academy. It was a great experience, and I think Gon and people from Geeks, you have to plan something to celebrate, maybe in Madrid, in Lisbon, or Setúbal, if Bruno prefers. And only I have to say that you have great teachers, and you are going to have a great teacher also, Bruno. So it was a nice experience. Thank you. And thank you, Edgar and Alisa.
Not a great teacher. If I get nervous, then just say that I don't know what states are, you know?
Step by step.
So I just would like to say that it was a pleasure to share my time with all of you, even with the ones that I just met in this presentation. And, well, it's just that.
Same from my side. Thanks, Marta. Thanks, Edgar, for the tips. They were really good. Thanks, Elisa. And it has been a pleasure. And I hope to see you soon in live somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, so if I could also add, thank you, Marta, so much for the patience for us, and also who's not here, Felipe and Sergio. They were also spending a lot of time with us, trying to find bugs, trying to find problems, help us with the solutions. I really enjoyed the course, and I think I learned a lot from it. And also the classmates that I had, we struggled together for 4 months, and now we're graduating. I'm really glad to have spent time with you guys, and our trip to Lisbon is still on.
I get no
yes. And thank you, Elisa, and also Edgar for sharing.
Cool. Well, that concludes our event and our presentations. I can't say it enough. Congratulations, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend and do something fun to celebrate. And anybody who's watching and wants more information about Four Geeks, you can go to our website, fourgeeksacademy.com. We have online classes in North, South, Central America, and Europe. So we hope to connect with you guys too. Thank you for attending. Thank you for supporting our graduating class. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a great night and a great weekend. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Bye guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.